In the rarefied atmosphere of global wealth, certain objects transcend their material form to become immutable stores of value. Among the sprawling portfolios of the global elite, one asset consistently defies traditional market logic, outperforming equities and precious metals alike. It is not a rare isotope nor a parcel of coveted real estate, but a meticulously constructed vessel of leather. This object commands waiting lists that span years and dictates terms to the world's most powerful consumers, establishing itself as the ultimate arbiter of access and influence. Yet the genesis of this unparalleled status symbol contradicts every tenet of modern corporate strategy. The Hermès Birkin bag, a name synonymous with the highest echelons of exclusive luxury, was not conceived in a boardroom surrounded by market analysts. It did not emerge from a calculated initiative to capture the ultra-affluent demographic. Instead, the most coveted accessory in recorded history was born from a moment of profound, unscripted human frustration, proving that the most enduring icons often arise from the simplest of genuine needs. The setting for this monumental disruption was entirely ordinary. In 1984, on a routine Air France airplane journey traveling from Paris to London, a young mother found herself grappling with the chaotic reality of travel. British actress and singer Jane Birkin, known for her effortless bohemian aesthetic, was struggling to stow her signature woven wicker basket in the overhead compartment. As the flight prepared for departure, the basket tipped, spilling its contents, a disorganized cascade of datebooks, papers, and daily essentials across the cabin floor. Seated directly beside her was a man whose life's work was dedicated to the mastery of refined travel. Jean-Louis Dumas, the visionary executive chairman of Hermès, watched the scene unfold with a discerning eye. He did not see merely a clumsy mishap. He recognized a fundamental failure of design. Dumas, a leader who viewed craftsmanship as a profound solution to human challenges, instinctively understood that the market lacked an elegant, functional vessel capable of accommodating the dynamic life of a modern woman. A conversation organically blossomed between the frustrated artist and the titan of industry. Jane articulated her exhaustive search for a weekend bag that could hold all her necessities without sacrificing aesthetic grace. She lamented the rigid formal briefcases of the era and the impracticality of her oversized totes. Listening intently, Dumas challenged her to define the exact parameters of her ideal companion, prompting an impromptu collaboration that would forever alter the landscape of luxury handbag creation. Armed with nothing more than a profound understanding of proportion and a humble paper air sickness bag, Dumas began to sketch. He translated Jane's practical demands into fluid lines, envisioning a spacious, supple hold-all featuring a secure, polished closure and a flat base to ensure stability. This rudimentary drawing, executed thousands of feet in the air, captured the exact intersection of utilitarian necessity and uncompromising elegance. The chance encounter had yielded a blueprint for perfection. Upon returning to the hallowed grounds of the Parisian atelier, Dumas presented this visionary sketch to his master artisans. This marked the initiation of the design into the rigorous discipline of haute maroquinerie, the pinnacle of fine leather craftsmanship where centuries-old techniques meet unparalleled material sourcing. The directive was clear: manifest the spontaneous airplane design into a tangible object of enduring resilience, utilizing the precise saddle-stitching methods originally developed for aristocratic equestrians. The construction process established for this new creation was an exercise in monastic dedication. Unlike industrialized fashion, each bag was to be entrusted to a single artisan from inception to final polish. This solitary craftsman would spend up to 40 hours meticulously cutting, treating, and hand-stitching the leather using 2 needles and a single thread of beeswax-coated linen. This unyielding commitment to traditional methodology ensured that the final product possessed an inherent soul, a structural integrity impossible to replicate through mechanization. To elevate the functional design, the house sourced only the most flawless hides, establishing a standard of material excellence that remains unmatched. From the buttery resilience of Togo calfskin to the rich patinating depths of Byrenia leather, every element was selected to age with grace. The hardware, plated in precious metals to prevent tarnishing, was attached using a specialized technique called pearling. Every microscopic detail was an homage to the uncompromising standards of Jean-Louis Dumas. When the Hermès Birkin bag finally debuted to the public, its reception was surprisingly measured. It did not trigger an immediate global frenzy or command the astronomical premiums seen today. Instead, it cultivated a quiet, fiercely loyal following among connoisseurs who recognized the profound quality hidden beneath its unbranded exterior. The market's initial, gradual embrace underscores a critical truth about genuine luxury. True value is rarely recognized instantaneously, but rather reveals itself through the undeniable test of time. For the woman who inspired it, the object remained purely functional. Jane Birkin treated her namesake creation with a refreshing irreverence, entirely divorced from the preciousness that would later define it. She famously applied stickers to the leather, tied worry beads to the handles, and allowed the pristine structure to soften and slouch through rigorous daily use. Her approach highlighted the bag's intended purpose as a robust, utilitarian companion designed to serve its owner rather than an artifact demanding preservation. Yet, as decades passed, the cultural perception of the silhouette underwent a radical transformation. The very attributes that made it a perfect utilitarian tool, its scarcity of production, its unparalleled durability, and its quiet, unlogoed confidence, began to resonate powerfully with an emerging class of global wealth. The object transitioned from a practical accessory to the ultimate signifier of insider status, a silent nod of recognition among those who operated at the highest levels of society. This shift catalyzed the implementation of a sophisticated distribution model that would become the gold standard of modern luxury economics. To maintain the integrity of their artisanal process, the house refused to scale production to meet skyrocketing global demand. This deliberate restriction birthed an environment of extreme artificial scarcity, captivating the UHNW, or ultra-high net worth, demographic access to the creation was no longer a matter of mere financial capacity. It became a complex dance of relationship building and brand loyalty. The legendary waiting list, often whispered about in affluent circles, is largely a myth, obscuring a more intricate reality. One cannot simply place a name on a ledger and wait for an allocation. Instead, acquiring this masterpiece direct from the boutique requires a demonstrated history of connoisseurship and a cultivated relationship with a dedicated sales associate. This psychological barrier to entry transforms the act of purchasing into a triumphant acquisition, elevating the object from a commodity to a hard-won trophy. Consequently, the financial dynamics surrounding the silhouette have evolved into a phenomenon studied by economists worldwide. The asset consistently appreciates, boasting an average annual return that frequently outpaces traditional investment vehicles like the S&P 500 or physical gold. For the discerning investor, it represents a highly liquid, tangible asset class, immune to the immediate volatility of geopolitical shifts or sudden market corrections. The meticulous craftsmanship originally intended for durability had inadvertently birthed a fortress of wealth preservation. This unprecedented appreciation fueled the rise of a robust and highly lucrative secondary market. Auction houses such as Christie's and Sotheby's established dedicated departments specifically to handle the sale of rare and exotic iterations. In these high-stakes arenas, pristine examples, particularly those crafted from Himalayan crocodile or featuring diamond-encrusted hardware, command hundreds of thousands of dollars. The auction block serves as a public theater where the immense, unyielding demand for the creation is quantified in real time. The stark contrast between the hyper-financialized reality of the auction floor and the humble origins of the air sickness bag sketch is a profound commentary on the evolution of value. What began as a solution to a spilled wicker basket has been elevated into a global currency of prestige. This transformation highlights society's deep-seated psychological need to quantify status through objects that are fundamentally inaccessible to the masses, turning a simple leather vessel into an avatar of supreme achievement. As the financial valuation soared, the woman whose name graced the leather sought to redefine its legacy. Uncomfortable with the astronomical wealth associated with her moniker, Jane Birkin leveraged her profound influence to mandate charitable contributions from the house. She directed the royalties generated from her namesake to various global causes, effectively transforming the ultimate symbol of private wealth into an engine for strategic philanthropy. Her intervention ensured that the object's legacy retained a measure of the humanity from which it was born. The enduring brilliance of Jean-Louis Dumas's vision lies in his absolute refusal to compromise the human element. In the face of insurmountable global demand, he understood that the true magic of the house was not in its marketing, but in the hands of its artisans. By steadfastly protecting the solitary craftsman model, he ensured that every single piece leaving the atelier carried the invisible signature of human dedication. The echoes of that early vision still resonate through every carefully placed stitch. In an era defined by rapid automation and instantaneous gratification, this commitment to slow, deliberate creation is a radical act of defiance. The training required to master the saddle stitch and the precise manipulation of exotic skins takes years of rigorous apprenticeship. This generational transfer of knowledge guarantees that the creation remains untainted by the sterile uniformity of the machine age. The luxury is not merely the leather, but the thousands of hours of human life woven into its very structure. Today, the silhouette occupies a unique pantheon in the cultural zeitgeist, transcending the boundaries of fashion to become a fixture in art, music, and cinema. It is referenced in hip-hop lyrics as the ultimate metric of success and showcased in contemporary art as a critique of consumerism. Yet, despite its omnipresence in the media, the physical object remains elusive, maintaining an aura of mystique that continues to captivate the imaginations of the global elite. The psychology driving the relentless pursuit of this unobtainable object reveals the complex nature of aspiration. For the ultra-wealthy who possess the capital to acquire virtually anything, true satisfaction is derived from the pursuit of the inaccessible. The rigorous vetting process, the scarcity of specific colors and leathers, and the sheer difficulty of acquisition transform the buyer into a conqueror. The item is no longer just an accessory, it is a physical manifestation of their ability to overcome impossible barriers. It is a profound irony that an object inspiring such intense, calculated pursuit was born from a moment of complete spontaneity. The 1984 airplane encounter was devoid of market research, focus groups, or strategic forecasting. It was simply two individuals, one expressing a genuine need, the other possessing the visionary talent to solve it. This pure, unadulterated origin story is the invisible thread that binds the hyper-exclusive present to a relatable, deeply human past. Ultimately, the staggering valuation and the impenetrable aura of exclusivity are built upon a foundation of authentic narrative. The discerning collector is not merely purchasing immaculate leather and precious metal hardware. They are acquiring a fragment of history. They are buying into the legacy of a visionary leader, the unparalleled skill of a dedicated artisan, and the effortless grace of a bohemian icon. The true value is intrinsically tied to the provenance of its creation. The human story behind the Hermès Birkin bag serves as a powerful testament to the enduring appeal of genuine craftsmanship and spontaneous innovation. In a world increasingly dominated by algorithms and mass production, the ultimate luxury remains the human touch. It is a reminder that the most profound achievements, the objects that define generations and rewrite economic rules, often begin not with a grand strategy, but with a simple conversation, a spilled basket, and a sketch on a paper bag.